Hello there. This is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another podcast. Standing up during these times. Standing up. I'm going to tell you what. Men have to stand up. Men have to stand up. Because you know what? One thing I have a disagreement with is men sitting around complaining about what women are doing. I got a disagreement. I might tell y'all some stuff every now and then about watching out for the bad ones, but I don't really complain. Now, I've done a few videos here and there in the past, but I got to the point I was starting to see that a lot of men weren't taking action. They were just sitting around complaining. When there's issues out here, though, that men can stand up. Now, this don't mean that, you go out and just immediately go out or, confront somebody or anything. You might have to at some point, but a man has to stand up. And that first place he stands up is in his own life. He has to stand up. He can't be sitting around complaining. He has to stand up. He's got to say, I don't care. And I don't care what the women are doing. I don't give a shit what they're doing. A man stands up and say, I'm going to handle this. He ain't even going to complain about her choices in men. He ain't going to complain about it. Her choices are her choices. He going to stand up and be the best for him. And he's going to stand up first for himself in his life and everything. And then he's going to move forward. Then his environment, his immediate environment. He ain't going to just sit there. If it's something that touches his environment or something that he sees is wrong, he's going to be like, oh, hell no. So that environment might extend to where he lives. I remember when I was young, I was living with my grandparents or over their place one time, and there were a bunch of kids in the neighborhood, a bunch of boys in the neighborhood who be sitting on like my grandmother's right in front of my grandmother's house. She was living in a row house at the time. It had like a little brick wall. And a bunch of guys sitting there chilling. And it was my step-grandfather. He went out there and just said, okay, y'all need to move. Yeah, and he wasn't a big guy. He was a killer though. He had a confirmed kill in World War II. But he wasn't a big guy or anything. But he stood up and established his order around that place. And, that might have been small, but, they respected him. We need that more because a lot of chaos, I'm going to tell you what, a lot of chaos out here is we don't have enough men standing up. We don't have enough men. Now, that's been kind of a theme this week about men standing up and handling stuff. But the thing is, you got to. If there's any problems in any environment, it's up to the men. Understand something. Women don't create civilization. Let me say that again. They don't create civilization. The most they do is enhance what a man creates. And they got their right. And that's kind of cool. A man might get the house, but, a woman makes it a home. But it's not that her part is more important. You still got the house. You still put the structure there. The women just enhance what the man does. That's what the woman does. Whatever the man is doing, whatever structure he creates, the women just enhance it, but he still creates the structure. Not the woman. Not the women. What structure have women created in this world? Seriously, and I ain't saying this to go in on the women. I'm just pointing out nature. What political system was created by women? What spiritual system was created by women? What economic system was created by women? All they've done is once the men went out, created the political systems, the spiritual systems, economic systems and everything, which is what we're supposed to do. Once they built the homes and anything, then the women bring their energy. And that's important. And look, let me just be real. Let's be real. That's what they're supposed to do. That's what they're supposed to do. But the man is the one who creates it. And there's a problem when we don't create it, right? So in order to create it, we have to stand up critical mass has to stand up. Not a critical, because we got some men who do stand up, definitely. We got men who stand up. They stand up for themselves. They stand up in their lives. They stand up for their children. Even if they ain't married to the mother, they stand up. They do what they're supposed to do. And it's not dependent on the courts making them do it. It's not dependent on some game the woman trying to run. He doing it because he's supposed to. He's supposed to stand up. Even if he got to check her to do it. So that's on the man. Because you got a lot of guys, they want to sit around but still want the woman to submit to them. Right? But no. Why should they submit to a man who ain't standing up? I don't even blame the women on that. A man had to show he a man first. And then the woman, I'm going to tell you what. If a man stand up, he create order in his life, in his world. He don't have to ask the woman to stand or to submit to him or force her. She either is or she ain't. If she ain't, she's just going to roll on, which is her right. She's going to roll on, and probably to a man who is standing up who might, be attractive to her in that way. And that's cool. That's cool. There's billions of women in this world, all men who stand up. They're going to have their share. But he don't have to ask her to do it. He don't have to force her to do it. He don't have to try to browbeat her into do it. He just going to go do his thing. She either follows or she don't. All right? Now, I started, the title of this thing was Standing Up During These Times. It's a lot of chaos out there, and it's bigger than just racial protests. And I've talked about this before. Like I said, it's just a theme this week. It's bigger than that, because we even without the protests, there's a lot of households that are in disarray. A lot of households with a man sitting in the household that are in disarray. In fact, a lot of men are just in disarray themselves. And they don't even have to have anybody else in the household. But we need that order. We need that order. And every single man can participate. You don't have to be that type of man who's going to walk out, and do some big thing. Sometimes just keeping your own place tight is the powerful thing. In fact, it ain't even sometimes. That is the powerful thing. Because if you get a critical mass of men, like say in a neighborhood, a critical mass of men that's keeping the peace, keeping the order, that neighborhood's a paradise. You ain't even going to have crime. Let me say that again. You ain't even going to have crime in that place. That's why you do have some places that are peaceful, Because, there's a lot of talk about defunding police or whatever, but you want to defund them? You get a critical mass of men who stand up, have control of their lives, and then in their environment enforce their control. Guaranteed, then you won't need the police as much. Because despite everything, there's whole neighborhoods in this country where the police don't even go into. Like, I'll give you an example. When I was still living in Maryland, PG County, Maryland, in the last decade, right? And I remember having a conversation with a cop. And the cop was like, yeah, there's certain places we don't even need to go. It's so peaceful. And it wasn't just because the people maybe had some money in that area. It's because the men were running shit. There were certain places. The cop was like listing off certain neighborhoods. And I was familiar with them. I was like, yeah, but you go around there, you see the men had control. I mean, where I grew up in Northeast D.C., there wasn't a lot of stuff happening around there, but you saw the men keeping order. Very key. But they were standing up. That's the key. And we need that more than ever during these times. It ain't about who we elect to be president. It ain't about, like, saying the cops should do this or complaining about what, either supporting or complaining about what which group is protesting. It's about a man standing up and handling. I talked about this. Started the week with it. Well, last Tuesday, handling that business. Being a man. So during these times, standing up is needed. It has to happen. So I want y'all to think on that. Peace and blessings.